Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. Welcome to this episode of Am I the Asshole? Our first one is from Tweaking Cat. Am I the asshole for booking my own Airbnb so I don't have to sleep on a couch for 6 nights? My immediate and extended family have booked a vacation for later in the summer. My aunt who found this place knew the owner and they got a great deal. My aunt initially said there are 6 bedrooms. 1 room for her and her husband, my uncle, 1 room for my parents, 1 room for my cousin and her husband, 1 room for my other cousin and his wife, and 1 room for their kids, who are both under 10. The last bedroom, you may wonder? This is where my aunt made an innocent mistake in miscounting. There are only 5 bedrooms. They told me that my boyfriend and I will have to sleep on a pull-out couch. I told my parents I would rather not sleep on a couch, even if it does pull out. I also don't want to make my boyfriend sleep on the couch with me either for his own privacy. It's in the living room, which is in the middle of everything. I would rather not be woken to people starting their day, and I would rather not have to change in the bathroom each and every time, or leave all my stuff in the living room as well. I don't want to change in my parents' room either, because I know I would probably rush so that they can have their own privacy. I don't want to put my luggage in anyone else's room and fill their room with my clutter. Same goes for my boyfriend. I don't want to make him do all that either. My family has never had this big of a vacation all together in such a long time. I would love to be involved and whatnot, but I said I would rather not go if I can't have a room to myself. Or I'll book my own place nearby and I will pay for my part for the main house everyone is in regardless. My mom refused both options as I will ruin the trip if I don't stay under the same roof. If I get my own place to stay, it would solely be to sleep. I plan to be with family at all other times and events. I don't care about the price of only getting an Airbnb just to sleep. I want my privacy. I haven't mentioned it to my cousins or anyone else yet that I'm considering getting my own place as close as possible though. Am I the asshole? I agree with the OP. I definitely wouldn't want to sleep in a living room somewhere where everybody else is able to have their own privacy, but mine would constantly be invaded. I definitely don't see them being wrong or an asshole for wanting that privacy. This next one is by Triple Digit Man. Am I the asshole for not letting my neighbor's kid ruin my lawn in the name of imagination? I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood with your standard backyard, some grass, a few old trees, a weathered shed. Nothing fancy, but I try to keep it tidy. I'm on polite but not close terms with most neighbors. We wave, sometimes chat about the weather, and that's about it. There's a family 2 doors down with a boy who's maybe 9 or 10. Lately, he's gone full pirate mode. I mean fully committed. Eye patch, cardboard sword, yelling, "Ye be cursed!" at squirrels. Honestly, pretty wholesome. At first. Then I started noticing small holes in my yard. Just little ones near the fence. I assumed it was raccoons. But then the holes got bigger. One morning, I went out and found the ground behind my shed completely torn up, with clumps of grass tossed around and a map pinned to the tree with a stick. Eventually, I caught him out there mid-dig. I asked him what he was doing, and he straight up said, "I'm hiding my treasure! No one must know! This is the perfect hiding spot!" I told him calmly, "Hey, this is my yard. You can't dig here." He got a little huffy, but ran off. I figured that was the end of it. Nope. Next day, there's a new hole. Bigger. A tin lunchbox half buried behind the shed. I dig it up and it's full of Pokemon cards, fake jewels, toy coins, and a few crumpled $5 bills. I bring it to his mom and explain what's going on. She immediately gets defensive. No apology. Just a heavy sigh and well, he's just using his imagination. I think it's sweet. I told her I didn't mind the creativity, just not in my yard. She rolled her eyes and said, "Can't you just let him have this? It's not like your grass is that nice anyway." That one actually stunned me. I said, as politely as possible, that I didn't want holes being dug on my property by someone else's kid. I handed over the box and left. That night, she sends me a long text telling me I humiliated her son, crushed his imagination, and created an environment where children can't feel safe being children. She said he cried for over an hour and now thinks I'm the villain in his story. Her words. I didn't reply. I get it. He's a kid. I didn't yell. I didn't shame him. And I even gave the stuff back. But I'm not thrilled about my yard being turned into a sandbox and getting insulted for not being okay with it. So, am I the asshole for drawing a line and not entertaining a pirate storyline that involved my yard getting wrecked? The OP's definitely not an asshole in this story because all they want is for their property, their land, their yard, to be respected. And unfortunately, it seems like this neighbor is raising their kid to be an entitled little monster, instead of somebody that's respectful with boundaries. And our final one is from Amphibian Bulky 2296. Am I the asshole for making my sick husband clean up his vomit? Throwaway. My husband has been dealing with a stomach bug of some kind the last few days. Vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, etc. I've been taking care of him and the house and kids by myself because of it, which is a lot of work with 2 under 5. This morning, my husband wanted to try eating something, so I made him toast as requested. As he was on the couch nibbling on his breakfast, I was making our toddlers their breakfast and feeding them when I hear him violently gagging in the other room. He'd been hanging out in the living room during this entire illness, so he had a trash can in there in case he had to puke or whatever. I called out to him to remember to use it or go to the bathroom if he thought he was going to vomit. He didn't listen and threw up all over the floor and some got on the couch. Husband then comes into where I'm feeding our kids and says he's going to go into our room so I can clean up his puke. I said absolutely not, as there was really no reason for him to vomit all over the floor, so he needed to take care of it. I had been cleaning it up all weekend already without complaining, when he was getting sick by surprise, but he has plenty of time to prepare for this and not make a mess. Husband is now all mad at me for not showing him a good bedside manner. So, am I the asshole? Update. Never expected so many comments. Feel very validated. All day, my husband kept making snide comments at me about not being a good wife and anyone who cares about their loved one wouldn't punish them when they're sick. So I showed him your comments and it finally shut him up. I've received many DMs and there's been lots of comments about hubby possibly getting me and our children sick. Don't worry, the rest of us are okay. Husband likely got food poisoning from eating food that's been sitting in his work break room for nearly 24 hours. Thanks for all the comments. How the hell can it be bedside manner? 1, if you're not in a hospital, 2, not in a bed. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Especially considering he knew he's sick, he had a trash can, and he still puked on the floor and on the couch. OP's definitely not the asshole for refusing to clean that up. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Am I the Asshole? If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.